Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to this week, most obviously because of the new patch 2.3. Now obviously, since it is the last few days of patch 2.2, there's nothing really new to go over there. The new patch will be on the 15th of October though, which is Wednesday, or if you are on the west coast of America, it'll be late on Tuesday night. Since this is going to be a brand new patch, it will be a simultaneous release for all regions at the same time. If you want to make sure that you can log into the game right as the patch hits, if you're on PC, then don't forget that you will be able to preload and pre-install the patch a few days leading up to the actual update itself. Once the patch drops though, the new banners will begin, with Lucia as one of the banners and the Vivian rerun as the other banner. On both of these banners though, the A ranks will be the other new character, Komono Manato, as well as Piper, who, if you really squint, I guess you could kinda say that she's kind of like Yidhari, with the way she swings around her axe. And with the new banners, don't forget that any pull that you do on the limited banners, starting with patch 2.3 all the way through to 2.4, will get you one step closer to getting a swimsuit skin for Vivian. You'll need to do a total of 180 pulls across the two patches, so plenty of time to try and gather up those pulls. Lucia and Manato will also make use of a brand new expert challenge and notorious hunt drop to upgrade their core skills, and so these new stages will also be added to the notorious hunt and the expert challenge options. Of course, with the new patch there will also be a new main story with Spook Shack, the memories of dreams bygone. But just like with Seed in patch 2.2, we can expect to also get Lucia's agent story to arrive at the same time as the new patch. There is something also for Yidhari, although it isn't explicitly an agent story, but it is an event that we will likely get a few days into the patch, possibly around Friday. That event will also be how we get a free copy of Manato. So when you are doing your pulls, don't forget to take that free Manato into account if you're trying to get a maxed out version of him. Now during the main story of 2.3, we will also get a free skin for Manato as well. I say a skin, but it's basically a player 2 recolor of him. But from what it seemed like in the trailer, this recolor might actually have some lore implications around it. So we'll have to see what happens in the story to find out just how important this skin is. And for anyone with Soldier Anby, her kit buff will now also be live when the patch drops. So just like with Ellen, there will be a little tab in the events menu where you can demo the updated kit, after which it will be available for use for her. Also, to help you get towards those 180 pulls for that Vivian skin, when the patch arrives, there will also be the all-new program login event, which will let you collect up to 10 total encrypted master tapes for logging in for a total of 7 days. But if that's still not enough, and you find that you need a way to get some more pulls, why not try using LD Shop? Especially considering you can get top-up options cheaper through LD Shop than you would in-game, with discounts of up to nearly 22% for new users. For example, purchasing an internet membership through LD Shop costs only $3.87 compared to the $5 if you were to purchase it in-game. And topping up is really easy. All you need is your in-game user ID and your server. Once you fill those in, you can click on top up, choose your payment method, and within seconds your order is completed and you can see the rewards in-game. And yes, you can even get the double bonus for first time top-ups. LD Shop is a trusted and authorized service that is 100% safe and legitimate. Also, if you use my link in the description when you register on LD Shop, you will also get a 5% off coupon to use. And if you spend over $80, you will also gain a VIP membership, which can earn you free internet memberships and regular coupons. Once again, you can check out the description and the pinned comment to start saving with LD Shop. Moving on to the social media side of things though, there are some exciting things. Firstly, a happy belated birthday to our sexy bodyguard Evelyn. I wonder if it's a coincidence then that I've been seeing a lot of Astra and Evelyn cosplay recently. If you know which ones I'm talking about, then you know which ones I'm talking about. But also, something that is going to be a first time ever for Zenless Zone 0 is that before the patch goes live on the 15th, the day before that, on the 14th, there will be another special livestream. This time, not from the devs, but what I am assuming will be a themed livestream from Lucia herself called the Sleepless Whispers livestream. This will be around the regular time that the dev live streams are, so you can set your clock for that. Considering the name and the thumbnail of the stream, I'm going to go out on a whim and maybe say that this will be like an ASMR storytime stream from Lucia. As if the recent character demo for Lucia wasn't enough, they're really trying to sell these Spook Shack members. Since we also got a nice intermission story as well for Manato, which honestly looks like it kind of had more effort put into it than the Lucia character demo with its whole little anime style as opposed to the 3D render. But I don't know anything about animation, so I could be completely wrong. All that being said though, it might still be worth it to tune into that live stream just to see on the offhanded chance that there might be something else teased. Maybe some small Easter eggs or some offhanded references to some potential other upcoming agents in the future. And then last, but certainly not least, I am glad to see that we are once again back to having drip marketing be revealed before the new banners are live, so that they can't really do that bait and switch where people will FOMO into pulling them right away only to then be hit by somebody that they actually liked being announced for a future patch. All that being said though, we have received the drip marketing for 2 agents that we will be seeing in patch 2.4, both of which are from the Krampus Compliance Authority, which was teased during the 2.3 livestream. Maybe then they went with Krampus because that's like gonna overlap with Christmas time or something. Who knows? But anyway though, the first one revealed, and so the first banner of 2.4 was Dialyn, who is going to be a physical stunner and also of course an S rank. Dialyn, as if it wasn't obvious from her name and her phone, acts as a customer service agent that has to deal with complaints from tops. Maybe that rage of being customer service is the source of her power. Otherwise though, the next character revealed for the second half of patch 2.4 is Banyue, a Fire Rupture S rank, and most importantly, a male. At least a male sounding robot, I guess. Which honestly may as well be as rare as a Void Hunter himself. Now, that being said though, if I had $1 for every time a male S rank appeared as the second half of a patch, only to then be eclipsed by a Void Hunter or something like that, being the very next banner, I would have $2, which isn't a lot, but it's definitely a pattern of something, right? This means of course that Zhao and Ye Xingwang will possibly only be as early as 2.5. Now, allow me to put on my tinfoil hat for a moment, but I don't think that it would be ridiculous to say that Zhao and Ye Xingwang are probably the more popular of the 4 that have yet to be added into the game. And knowing that we have that Vivian skin that requires 180 pulls across the next 2 patches, part of me wonders if they purposefully put the quote-unquote lesser characters on the banner first, so that you're kind of forced to pull for them, even if you don't like them, because how else will you get the Vivian skin? And then you'll also need to now go and get more pulls back for when they do eventually drop the characters that you actually wanted, right afterwards. So it's hard to say. I mean, think about it like this as well. Let's say that you really like Lucia and Yudhari, you really like Spookshack, but you're not really a fan of the 2 characters that have just been announced. And then let's say that you somehow get really lucky during your pulls for Lucia and Yudhari, so you only had to spend like, let's say what, 120 pulls maybe or something like that. You got them early, you won the 50-50 both times around. What do you then do with your other pulls to make up that 180? I guess what you could do is you could go for the engines for Lucia and Yudhari, or depending on what the reruns are, maybe you can hopefully pull for them as well. Or maybe you haven't gotten Vivian herself yet, so you want to do some pulls for her. Those are really your only other options to fill out that 180 pulls. Which by the way, if you do not actually have Vivian, and for some reason you don't plan on getting Vivian during her rerun, if you do your 180 pulls, you will still get the skin. It'll just like be held until she actually arrives in your account. But for now though, we will just have to wait and see what Dialyn and Banyue, as well as the whole Krampus faction, has in store for us. But first of course, we can take our time and sit back and enjoy patch 2.3 that arrives this week. And most importantly, be soothed with Lucia's probable ASMR that we're going to see the day beforehand. Otherwise, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, then liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. But until next time, bye bye!